All right, guys, welcome to week 3 of Coach University. We're so excited that you are already gone through and you've done week 1 and week 2. If you haven't, please make sure you go back and you complete week 1 and 2 because all of our material and education that we're giving you guys, it builds each week, and we want you to have that training and be able to implement that from week 1, week 2, and then moving into week 3. And this week, you guys, we're going to be covering a couple different topics. Social media, which is a huge one for our business, and our marketing, which is kind of goes along with social media, as well as facing those fears that we have as new coaches, and as well as objections, because those things are bound to happen. So you guys, I'm Cassie, and I have a couple other coaches here with me today that are so excited to share with you and educate you. And we're going to start today with social media, and Jessica is going to share all about social media. Go for it, girl.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I've worked at Anytime Fitness as a manager, a personal trainer for 6 years. I'm a newly Beachbody coach, so I'm kind of just jumping in this with the hopes that one day I can just be a full-time Beachbody coach, work from home, just live the dream life that I see all these amazing coaches doing. So with that being said, we'll definitely go with social media. First thing would be pictures and videos always win, personal ones, not just any picture. You have inspirational quotes, cute little graphic pictures, whatnot. But if we measure the read rates of posts with a picture versus a post with a graphic design, inspiring quote, etc., we quickly discover that people stop, look, and read posts more often when it's a personal picture or video. So you want to launch your posts and invitations to include you, something personal, whether it be you on an adventure with your fiance, with your family, with your puppies or your kitties, something personal, but something with you. People can relate to that. Make sure your images are original, not a stock of Beachbody products or anything like that. You want them well lit, colorful, and very good to the eye. Before and after pics work really, really well. They also get the most engagement because obviously you're going to have a lot of people that are on the tier. They've been watching you, but they might not be liking your post or engaging with them. So I personally notice when I do before and after, you get a lot of good engagement. Best time to post would be early in the morning, evening, or before bed. I think a lot of people scroll on Facebook a lot before bed. That's my personal opinion. Short and sweet posts work the best. If you don't want to go too long, sometimes you might post something a little bit longer, but the shorter ones are going to get people's eye more because really we live in a world where people just want things fast. They want a quick fix. They want to read it, and they want to go on with their day. Ask for engagement, ask a personal question. Cassie did one where she's getting ready to go for vacation and she needed some information or tips. So, just certain things like that, or Tuesday recipes, something like that. Share authentic and openly. Sharing the things that you struggle with and how you're overcoming can help reach people. People can relate to that. They see you overcoming stuff. They know that there's a chance for them too as well. Use Instagram and Facebook stories to interact and share for your day-to-day stuff that you're doing. So it gives a little snippet of your inside life. They feel like they're getting to know you. And then last week we chatted about challenge groups. If you have not created a post sharing about your first challenge group, do it. This can be a free group or a longer paid group. Talk to your upline and they can help you get started. The first one that I actually did, and I did it last week, was my free water challenge. Yep, and everybody loved it. And I actually had a couple of girlfriends that were already starting to do their water intake, cut out soda and simple things like that. So when I let them know, they were just over the roof excited that I did a group like that. And now everybody wants to keep the group going just as like a motivational daily struggle, workouts if they choose to do that, recipes and stuff like that. So definitely do challenge groups, whether free or paid. So write down your favorite tips for social media, start implementing them, plan the start date for your first challenge group. I personally actually scheduled my posts because that just is a lot easier, where I sit down for an hour, schedule my posts for the week, and then I don't have to worry about it when I'm going on with my day. And I can still interact with them, interact with the people on the post. Don't forget to make them know and feel that you're there, you're listening, and you're there to help them. So, let's see, we'll share on the resource document a few sites and apps to spruce up your pictures. I personally love Canva. There's some things that you can, Canva's amazing. So they have amazing graphics. Some of them are free. Some of them you might have to pay for, but regardless, there's a lot of stuff on there. I'm sure Jenna and Cassie might know other ones, but that's my favorite one. So I'm going to pass it over to Cassie, who would like to talk a little bit more about social media on the advertising side.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we love social media with what we do. And I will be real with you. When I started as a coach, I was, number one, terrified of social media. And number two, I was awful. I don't even want to know. I wish I could look back now. I probably can somehow and see the kinds of things that I was posting. It was not good. So don't be afraid of social media. You guys, the stuff you post in the beginning, people aren't going to remember anyway. And using social media as our marketing tool is extremely beneficial. Being in direct sales or network marketing used to be all about word of mouth, right? You'd be at a party, you talk to somebody about it, or you give them a call, whatever. But times have changed and social media is prevalent, right? And marketing is our way of sharing. So our goal as a new coach for you guys would be to create that foundation that will serve you in the future, to find those amazing clients and coaches that you want in your business. And that happens through social media. So let's talk a little bit about those marketing strategies that would be beneficial for you. And these are in order of most effective, or like, I guess the biggest bang for your buck, down to it's great to do, but I wouldn't do it all the time. So number one would be those direct contact and follow-ups. So personal messages, emails, in person, right? A phone call, text messages. And as a new coach, we started talking about that contact list, or that, what do you call it? The memory jogger that we used in the beginning. And that is a great way to start with those direct contacts and those follow-ups, right? Reconnect with a college friend, right? Reconnect with a childhood friend. Reconnect with somebody you worked with a couple of years ago. That's a great way. And you don't have to talk about coaching or challenge groups or any of that. Just have a conversation, be a human. And that's direct contact and follow-ups, following up. And if they do ask about information, but they're not ready, in a month later, when you start your new challenge group, go back, follow up with them. That's a great way. Number two is networking and referral building. So expanding your network, you'll probably hear that a lot, or adding to your network. That really just means that you're adding people to social media, or if you meet somebody in real life, you're adding them to your contact list, or adding them from real life into social media. And then just connecting and then asking for referrals from our current clients. I have gotten some of my funnest clients from clients that I already have. They referred me because they liked working with me, and they referred me over to somebody new. So don't discount those referrals and that networking. Number three is public sharing. And I would say this, I would tie with number two, is that networking and that social media piece, that public sharing. When you guys show up on your social media every single day, you're essentially saying, my coaching business is open. If you don't show up on social media, your business is closed. So social media, you guys, think about, there's so many different ways we can utilize it for marketing. You can post just a normal post, like words in a picture, like Jessica was talking about. Those live videos, Instagram and Facebook stories, YouTube, right? All those are public sharing. So that's another way to market. Number four is writing and publicity. I can't say that word. Publicity, which basically just means like an email that you send out weekly, monthly, right? I have an email list that I love sharing little tips and tools. I'm adding value to people's lives. Maybe you have a blog, right? Maybe you share in a group every week. Maybe you have live workouts you do at a gym, so you can share like a little flyer or something to help them stay connected, whatever it is. Number five would be promotional events. This could be like a shake and share if you haven't done that before, inviting people to come work out with you and do little samples of shakes. I know Mama B has done stuff like that. or even a live workout. Mama B does this too in the gym, right? So you host an event in the gym where you're not the trainer, but you have the workouts on. They can come try it out. These are all promotional events. And then number 6 would be official advertising. This is not something I recommend for new coaches, but it's an avenue you want to think about for the future. And that could be like Facebook ads, something like that. So those are kind of our top 6 for marketing. And when you look at how you spend your time reaching out to people, notice if there's a balance, right? Are there things that are on that list that you're not doing yet? Okay, especially in that top 3 or 4. Consider doing those. Consider implementing them into what you do weekly. And then a few steps to make sure that you're ready to be marketable as a new coach. And we talked about this week 1, but make sure that your coach account in your profile is set up. And we showed you that in week 1. Go back. It's in your coach office. Make sure your website's set up. That way people can actually visit there and know what you do. And then the second thing, set up your Facebook or an Instagram account. If you're not already connected on there, we don't always recommend like pages or setting up your Instagram as a business quite yet. I would say once you have so many followers, you can expand beyond that, but just make sure that your accounts are set up. They're open to public or however you feel comfortable, so then people are actually seeing your information. And then host groups, host free groups like Jessica was talking about. That's such an awesome way to add value to people, to get to know them in a non-threatening environment where you're comfortable. You're not worrying about challenge packs and Shakeology and all that. You're just sharing, right? And you get to add value, like I said. And then last, be patient, be consistent with your posts, your invites, and engagement. Like I said, when you're sharing on social media daily, you're showing up and saying my business is open. The other thing that's happening is when you're posting consistently your journey, people might think in the beginning, oh, this is just a phase or a stage Cassie's going through, right? But after you've been sharing for a month and then 2 months and 3 months and 2 years and 3 years, they're like, oh, this girl's legit. I can trust her. And I've seen her life change. And don't be afraid to share those little changes, even if you're a brand new coach, right? That's okay to do. You can share how your mindset has shifted in 21 days. We all know that's possible. That's why we're here as coaches. So don't be afraid to share that journey and be consistent. So Sarah, let's talk about fears, because girlfriend, we know you had some as a new coach, and I know you can speak to that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So my name is Sarah. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I have been an active coach now for a year and a half. And I am a mom of 2, and I work 4 days a week as a dental hygienist. And I'm pregnant with number 3. So if you can see me yawn a lot, it's because after I eat, I literally can't breathe. So it's like, I try and take a deep breath. It's not because I'm bored or tired or anything. I literally can't breathe right now. But anyways, so I have been a coach for a year and a half, and I love when I can talk about facing your fears, because as some of you guys maybe have encountered, I know a lot of us on this call, a lot of us on the team have encountered fears and anxiety about different things starting out as a coach. And a lot of that is because you're entering uncharted territory, things that you are not familiar with, and you're putting yourself out there, and that can be kind of scary. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of facing those fears and what's going on in your mind when you're inviting and stuff like that. So the first thing is, when you are sending out an invitation to a challenge group, or to a free group, or to the coaching opportunity, or if you are thinking about presenting a challenge pack option to somebody, what is really going through your head while you're doing that? If you have kind of a negative mindset, or you're already thinking, well, maybe they won't be interested, maybe they're going to say no, so maybe I shouldn't even ask. You're already projecting that no onto that person. And so don't do that. This is such a gift that we have for people, and it is very liberating. The more you invite, the easier it gets. But don't ever hold that back from somebody. They might tell you no, and that's okay. But don't ever hold that back because you are afraid and you're hiding behind fears and anxiety, because it might be exactly what they need. So part of that is that you as a coach, we all are a coach for different reasons, right? We kind of need to know why we're here. You need to believe in the process. You need to believe in this coaching opportunity. And I think a lot of us are here for that reason because we've had great opportunity, or we've had great successes and stuff like that. And we want to make a difference in other people's lives. Whether that's helping people become coaches so that they can have financial freedom and time freedom, or just getting them set up with a program so that they can live a healthier lifestyle and just be a better person in that way. So we have to believe in the process and what it is that we do. And part of this is just to know like where your mind is at. You know, we need to work on daily personal development, listening to audiobooks, reading books, listening to National Wake Up calls, listening to people's success stories, stuff like that. It helps motivate us. And when we're motivated and we are helping people in their goals, they're going to start seeing results. And the more results people see, the more exciting this like comes, because you are seriously changing people's lives. This is such an amazing opportunity. So one thing to kind of keep in mind is that when as coaches, you know, we as people just in general, we like to have people kind of guide us and help us. And so when you're helping somebody with their health goals, it's good to be to give them facts to help them, to steer them in the right direction, to be a soundboard for them, and really just to help coach them. You know, something that a lot of people say that they're scared of is sounding like a salesperson, and that can be easy to fall into that trap if you are being really like salesy, right? So we don't want to be salesy. We just want to help these people, right? So we want to ask them questions. We want to get to know them. And then the next thing is kind of detach yourself from the outcome of what they're going to say. If you are so tied up in them, like, I need them to say yes because I need to hit Success Club, or I'm tying everything up into this person because they seem so interested, and then they like stop responding to you, or they don't follow through with it, you can get like really down about that. So it's really, really important to try and detach yourself from the outcome, because you know that this is a great opportunity. And even though they say no now, or maybe not now, it doesn't necessarily mean that means no forever. It just means no right now, not right now. And that's the other thing, is that we need to like try really hard to care more about the experience, about really helping people, and not get so tied up in that no or not right now, because sometimes it is just not the right time for people. And you will encounter people who sometimes are in a really negative place in their lives, sometimes in general, and they're not ready to confront that, or to address that, or to maybe talk to you about that specifically. And so sometimes you will encounter negative responses or some rude comments back. And I mean, I'll admit, it's hard when you get those for the first time, but I'm telling you, it's not you. It is something that is going on in their life, and it's something that they need to work through. And do not let that get you down, because for every no that you get, you can help 10 more people down the road. So don't let those negative responses get back to you. Just say, you know what, this might not be a great time for you. If anything ever changes, or if there's any way I can help you, you know, if they have divulged some stuff about stuff they're going through, maybe check back in with them at a later time and just say, hey, how's it going with this, you know? And the other thing is that some people really do have some hurdles that they have to get through. Like, they really cannot afford a challenge pack. They're really going through a hard time. They might be going through something personally that they just cannot commit right now. But that doesn't necessarily mean down the road that they wouldn't. So the follow-up is so, so important. And liking stuff on their page, commenting on stuff on their Facebook page, just reaching back out to them after like a month or 2 months or whatnot, it just helps them know that you do care. It's all part of the process, right? Because remember, we're trying to focus on the whole process and the experience. And I have seriously built some amazing relationships this way. And I've been a coach for a year and a half, and I've talked to people for that entire year and a half who were not interested or couldn't afford it and are now coming back to me and saying, you know what, I'm ready for this. Or I had so many, I have a really big extended family and had a lot of objections in the beginning and a lot of people making fun of me. And it was really hard for me because I care about what people think, right? And I am slowly, like one cousin at a time is like, oh, what do you think about that Shakeology? Or, oh, hey, I went on vacation with some of my brother-in-laws and they're in really good shape. What can I do to get in shape? You guys, it's amazing. Like people I never thought would be coming to me are now coming to me. And it's part of that social media and going, you know, like I'm sharing and people can trust me because they know this isn't just a phase they're going through. Right. So I promise you, if you just keep with it and the follow-ups, it really makes a huge difference. And in the end, what's the most important thing is by reaching out to these people, inviting them, sending them a message, they know who you are and they're watching you. So they might not know who you are in the beginning, or they might not really trust what's going on, like I said, but if they're watching you and they're watching your coaching business and your experiences and everything that you're sharing, that's when you do really start to see people start coming around. But I know, Mama B, you wanted to share about some objections that we might encounter as coaches.
Hey guys, I'm Mama B. I think I'm the oldest coach that's on the team, and I'm okay with that because these young chicks are teaching me all kinds of cool things. But I do want to talk to you about objections, because when we put ourselves out there and we invite people to join us, we're naturally going to encounter some hesitation, some objections. And basically it's because people are afraid of change. I know it's really hard, but don't take it personally. In the very beginning, I kind of did take everything personal, and you really shouldn't. And I'm to the point now through personal development and everything that I had someone make a comment to me because when I reached out to her to do an invite, and I was like, I don't know if you follow me or not on Facebook. Anyway, her reply back to me was, well, I'm not sure for how much longer though. Before, that would have crushed me. Like, I would have taken that so personally. And instead, I was friendly and I just sent back to her, well, we can't all be everyone's cup of tea. And then she sent back, laugh out loud. Long story short, we are still having a conversation. So, you just can't take everything personally. Just work through it. And even if it would have been a horrible experience, move on. There's someone else that you can help. Try not to get pulled into convincing someone or selling. We don't sell products. That's not our job. Our job is to help change lives. So there's been times where I've caught myself going there when someone has just tended to challenge me with one objection after another. And when I get to that place, I pause for a minute. I just kind of smile and relax. And then I say something like, I'm not here to convince you. It's not my desire. It's not my role. I'm just simply here to help you, the best I can to discover if this is something that would benefit you right now. And it just takes the tension out of it. I always try to lighten the mood and just flow with it. You need to acknowledge their issues. So it might be fear. They might have a complaint. It might be a past experience, and relate to them. Tell them that you understand, or tell them that, you see why they feel the way they do. If that was my experience, I would feel the same way. Just, put yourself in their shoes. And if it sounds like that really concerns you, I understand, or, I totally get it. Let them know that you get what they're saying. And then maybe share an experience or a relatable story. So you can just turn it around to, if you do relate to it, let them know, well, what happened to me was, or I have a friend who, or I've seen it happen to other people. And then you want to explain what you learned from that. So it's like, well, what I discovered was, or what my friend did was, and, you know, maybe you can find the solution there. And then you want to ask a question to see where they're at. Like, we've worked through all of their fear and their objections and everything, or you think you have. So you just kind of want to fill them out and just ask them a few questions. You know, would you be open to try? What do you think? And do you think we could find a solution that would work for you? And then you want to get them what they need to take the next step. So, you know, say something like, if you're ready to get started, I can send a super simple email enrollment. It honestly takes less than 5 minutes for me to do one and for them to finish one. It's so simple. And, you know, you might ask, just if I get you a schedule for our training, would you be ready to get started? And one of the biggest objections that we're going to get is money. So you might just, you know, if you took the next 30 days to save for a challenge pack, would you want to join my next group? And always let them know that you have a group coming up, and that if they can't do it right now, they can do it the next time. But, you know, we want to try to help people just overcome the obstacles. And it can be so much fun to do that. And it's so rewarding for someone to really have a legit reason that they can't. And then when they can figure out a way to go ahead, it is rewarding. And just stay curious and be a friend. They'll appreciate your approach and feel like they have a coach who cares. The way to enjoy the process is to remember that it's just a conversation. It's just like us talking. Just have a conversation. At any point, everyone you talk to, it's just not going to be for them. So you're free to give them a graceful release always. And let them know that you hear their concerns and just want them to know that, you know, that we're here for them. And we support them completely. And if down the road they're ready to better their health, or, you know, decide that they want a challenge package, let them know that you'll support them and that you're there for them, just to reach out. And you also always want to leave an opening that we appreciate their support on building our coaching business. And maybe they know someone that would, you know, that this would be for them. And so just let them know that you would appreciate connecting if they would connect them with us. So when you're told no, they may say no, but what I hear is not yet, because they will start watching you, and, you know, they will come back around. So, I don't know. Cassie, do you have anything else?
Yeah. So you guys, we do have some homework. Make sure you're checking out the resource doc with all the topics that we talked about. And there'll be little homework assignments in there. And I know when we started with our intro, we talked about that Coach Pod. Make sure you're checking in with your upline, of course, as well as that new Coach Pod, so you can add value to everybody. Because most likely, if you have the question, other coaches do too. And then I just want to say thank you for jumping on, and thank you, coaches, for doing our awesome training. Check in with your coach, do your homework, and then you can move on to week 4. Thanks, you guys.